this new thing hacks right. I hope it don't mess up. But anyway, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Makael. We are back with a new video. I hope you guys had a great week last week. If you got snow in your area, I hope that you were able to enjoy the snow. I really pretty much didn't enjoy the snow because first of all, I had to get up early. I had to work.
Oh, to go to work.
Yes, but the trolley was on time. Like it didn't stop the trolleys. You know, they made sure my streets were plowed. You know, but
it's a different area, so you know they're gonna make sure it's plowed.
Yeah, okay. Because I went to North Philly the other day and they were not plowed. Like,
of course.
It was so bad. Like I had to walk in the street. Like it was just really, really bad. But yeah, I'm happy that it did snow though. We had our first snow in about 2 years. So it did look nice. I didn't think it was going to do as much as they...
Me neither. I didn't think that either.
Because the news been getting it wrong lately. Every time, we're going to get 6 to 10 inches of snow. Well, we got about 6 inches of snow. And, you know, it's the snow is like it's finally melting. So there was a lot of black ice out there or a lot of frozen water. But it was kind of warm today. So all you seen was just
what I got on.
Yeah.
I don't know video. I just got a jacket. It was very warm.
Yep, and this water just was streaming down the street. I could hear the ice melting off my off the roof out in front of me. So it was a good snowstorm. You know, I guess it could have waited a week later, but
why? What's going on with
Christmas? It's Christmas this week.
Oh,
I don't feel like Christmas.
It's supposed to rain. I think.
I heard they said like rain then snow.
Yeah, but it's going to be too warm for snow.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be snow like what we just had. But
yeah, you know, whatever the case, I'm working morning, so you know, something good for me happened last week. I was offered to become permanent at my job.
I told you.
Yes.
Didn't I tell you? I told you that. I mean, I told you that.
Yes.
It's because you always there and you giving all these hours. That's decent. So we used to become permanent.
It's starting today. So
Did you go today?
I was off today.
Oh.
So tomorrow.
I know that's right. Do you get a pay raise yet or no?
I wish I did, but no.
Well, I mean, you're permanent, so that's all that matters.
Yes, I'm permanent now, so you know that comes with a lot of benefits.
So how long has it been since?
4 months.
That you've been there?
Yeah.
Wow.
4 months. So you know, some people took longer, but you know.
Well, I told you. I did tell you that.
I'm really enjoying, you know, working there, and I've been switched. Well, I requested to be switched to the morning shift. At first, I was denied, and then I was like, "Hold up," and then I got approved. Okay, so
when you switch to the morning shift, you're going to be permanent on the morning shift.
Yes.
So what shift is it other than morning?
6 a.m. in the morning. I have to be.
No, I'm saying what shift is it other than the morning?
Oh, afternoon. So it's either got the morning shift where you work from the morning to the afternoon, or then the afternoon to close. So you got to pick either shift. But
they approved you finally for morning.
Yes, because I've been trying to get on mornings, and I'm like I'm always here. I'm always here from morning to night anyway. So I just want to be here early, because on days that I don't want to do overtime, I can be home, or I can make videos earlier, and I can put more time into YouTube, because I really haven't been.
Right.
And you know, after he leaves, I have to edit, and then I have to get ready to go to bed and get up for work in the morning. Right. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, you know, get it done earlier, where I can edit and have do the effects I want to do, because sometimes I just throw the video up, and there hasn't really been any effort lately. But I just want to put more time and crap into this and to the podcast and stuff like that. So this gives me a chance to do all of that, and I'm happy about that. I'm glad. I'm glad that things are just working out correctly.
So what time would you get off now? 6 to what? 2?
2. Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And then springtime, summertime, bam! All I gotta do is go to bed early, and I could be up. I mean, you know, be out and about and enjoying the weather and stuff like that. But I've been in there in the summertime, and it's not hot. It's cold as fucking.
Well, yeah, because you work in an office building.
Yes, it's like
they better have an air on.
Reason. It's for reason. But yeah, so I'm happy about that, and thank you to everybody who congratulated me and stuff like that. And what else?
I didn't see you post that you were permanent.
I posted on Twitter. You don't be on Twitter, and I posted on Facebook. I did post on Facebook. I ain't put it on Instagram though.
I only saw your one post on Facebook about your family, and that was it.
Yes, you know
that was the only one I saw.
Okay, because you know why I posted that? Because I'm just tired of being chased around, And I'm okay. Just let me be okay from a distance. You know, it's Christmas week. I'm not with my family. It's tough because it's our first holidays without my mom. You know, everything is the first. But right now, ain't nobody getting along. And then when you do try to get along, it's always somebody bringing up old shit or some bullshit that you don't want to be a part of and don't want to argue about. And, you know, people want to say, oh, well, you used to. Well, that's what I used to do. I'm not the same. I'm supposed to change. You know, nobody stays the same forever. And I just got too old for that. And I feel like I've grown a lot and I don't have time for that. So if we could be together as a family where there's no bullshit and none of that, you know, if we could do that, then I'm there. But if we can't, no, I'm going. And until then, this is going to be my time to grow and to change even more and to become even more responsible because I only have my head to protect. And I need more money and I need more of it over my head, okay? And then my bank account.
Well, you're about to get it.
Yes. And as long as it just slipped my mind. But yeah, it's just as long as it's just me, then I'm going to take care of me. And I don't have no other responsibilities. So I'm going to keep working. And as long as they keep offering overtime, yes, I'm going to take it.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not.
When people ask me about the videos, I say, listen, Kevin's working, and I'm not mad at him that he's doing the overtime. That's what he's supposed to do. Do you ever hear me complain? No, I don't ever complain. I want you to get that money. That's what you're supposed to do, get that fucking money. Because Lord knows if they offering it to me, I'm taking it.
Yes.
Okay?
So, what has happened over the weekend?
People just going to have to wait and see us. That's
Yes.
all.
I mean,
you have your place now, so this is what you have to take care of. And then eventually you'll be able to move to something else.
Yes.
If you want to move.
Yeah. But right now, I'm okay. I'm actually okay with what I have. It's just me. I don't really...
But I'm just saying, in the future, but I think, and I agree with you, they need to stop chasing you. Because I get that phone call one more time and say, listen, I'm being nice, but now I have to let you know. Because I've been acting like I ain't know, but now I got to let you know. He doesn't want to be bothered right now. Yeah. You have to respect that. You got to respect it. And don't start trying to explain shit to me. Because I don't want to hear it. No, because, I don't want to hear it. I already know. I was there for 12 years. I know. I'm fucking no.
So, we're getting our $600 stimulus check. That's all we're getting.
I got on live today to talk about that.
What did you say?
And my live was filled with people.
Upset?
Well, of course, majority of people are upset. But it's kind of like I said on my live today, I'm not going to sit here and rant and rage about it from my point of view because I've been blessed all year to work. I haven't been laid off or anything like that. So I'm blessed. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people were as fortunate as I was to still continue to work all year long. So the pandemic financially did not affect me at all. I was even getting all this overtime too. So it didn't affect me at all. But what got me upset is that you got men and women in Congress who are making over $130,000 a year who negotiated for 9 months for $600 to give us.
Right.
Not another $1,200, but $600 less to give us. And it's like, wait a minute. It took y'all this long just to come up with $600 and $300 for people who are unemployed? You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because I started thinking about Kamala Harris when she was still in the Senate and she was trying to push for a $2,000 stimulus for Americans. And of course the Republicans, but then I had to remind people that these are the same people, the same Republicans who after they gave us the first stimulus, they didn't want to give us a second one.
Right.
It was because of the public outrage.
And they were trying to kick people off the unemployment.
And they were trying to kick people off the unemployment. But it was because of the public outrage and the media focusing on the public outrage that they decided to come back to the table. But it's like $600? $600, you got people whose rent is $800, $900, $1,000. What are they going to... $600 is only half of that.
It's going to go towards either somebody's bill.
A bill, rent, or groceries.
Right.
Because after that, it's going.
That's what it should go to.
I posted something recently that says, the older you get, the more you realize $1,000 ain't nothing.
It's not. It's absolutely nothing.
It's absolutely. When we were younger, $1,000 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But now that you are an adult, I got a whole car. Can you imagine $1,000 going for me? I have a whole car. Like, that car alone. And then everybody want to ride. But nobody want to give up gas. You. But yeah.
Well, if you want to make money today,
I'm joking. But you see, like, $600 is nothing. It's unfortunate. I feel bad. It's a slap in the face. Hopefully Georgia goes out there and vote.
Yes.
Because these Republicans need to get out of the Senate. They need to not be the majority in the Senate.
Yeah, maybe Biden will give us another relief pack. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure he is, but the thing is, you now have to have if let's just say the Democrats don't win in Georgia and the Republicans they stay in the majority in the Senate. Now you have to have the Republicans who still have the majority.
You got to work.
You have to now work with them, and they may not. If they only gave us 600 this time, you think they're gonna want to give us more next time?
Here's the thing. I think that they all should be trying to work together anyway. Like, they all should be reaching out across the aisle. It's different now. It should be different now that Trump's not in there, but so many people are still going to, Republicans to follow Trump because he now can say, well, vote for this person, don't vote for that person. He still has power.
He still has that power, yes,
even though he wouldn't be the president. But I do think that that's like when you hear them old stories of how Republicans and Democrats, we fought for different things, but we still sat at the same
How
table.
they used to come together.
You don't hear that shit.
No, you don't hear that no more. No.
Like, you should be able to agree and to disagree or try to compromise. I don't think that's a compromise with $600 fucking dollars.
And like I said today on my live, the Democrats their hands were tied. They don't have the majority. They want to get something out to the American people. You know what I mean? And it's like, listen, we're not. The Republicans are not budging. They're not. $600, Kevin.
And they are millionaires. First of all, that's just $130,000 salary that they have.
Yep.
But a lot of them are millionaires.
Ain't that
And
something?
you think that $600, Republicans and Democrats, what the fuck is going on? It's not enough.
$600. People were happy and like it was mixed reviews even with the $1,200. And people like, well, it's talking, but you took it down to $600. $600, not $1,000. You already say, okay, we'll take $200 away.
Yeah.
You said $600. We're gonna take it all the way down to $600.
And more people are dying, and more people are catching COVID. At a worse rate than it was back in April and May. It's worse
because back in April, a lot of people were still staying indoors. And then once the summertime hit, everybody started coming outside.
Right. You see London on a different type of lockdown
Oh my God.
than us. They're talking about a different variant of the virus. But y'all still gonna go out there. Stay home. It's nothing really out there right now. It's cold. It's cold. Yeah, we got the New Year's, okay. The way I see it, I'm working. I just set my schedule for next week. This
On
is
New Year's Eve, you're working?
I'm working every fucking. I'm going to work. I'm not doing nothing else.
Yeah.
I could sit here and play video games, or I could sit here and make money, or I could sit here and make money too. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make money. That's what it is all about. Sorry to say it, but it's true. Because this time it's just crazy out here. If you can get a job, be glad with it. If you get a job at UPS or Amazon or wherever, get that job and just be happy. Like, don't just accept anything, though. Know your worth, too. Moving on from that, Teyana Taylor has the endorsement of Dionne Warwick. And I love it. And, I'm loving that Dionne is really using her superpowers, as I'll say we get December 21st. She's using her superpowers, and she's getting on Twitter. She's causing a ruckus. And then she tagged Netflix and was like, look, it's not up to me, but, maybe Netflix can get something started. And Netflix was like, well, hold the fuck up, hell yes. So they got Teyana Taylor. Soon probably we'll know more, but they're going to start these talks about maybe a Dionne Warwick biopic or a miniseries.
And you know what? Looking at Teyana Taylor, old Dionne Warwick, short haircut, all that. Yep. That was perfect Dionne Warwick. I don't know who got in her ear. Maybe one of her grand or nieces or somebody, but that was perfect. And then you saw the tweet where she said she wanted to look at Gots to Be Real.
Yes. Now I think she seen. I know she had to see it by. And I heard they
took a lot of them off. Yeah, because when I went to go search, it was like only the very first episode ever that was up there. There wasn't a lot of them on there. So Perry LaHill,
I don't even know where she is. I know she changed her name several times.
I don't know either.
Where is Perry LaHill? You know. Then I heard that she sold the YouTube videos to BET. I'm not sure what happened, but you know, that was a time.
That was.
Like, that was a fun
time. And I wish I could do the reunion over with just me.
Oh, child. Yeah. That's all right. I'll just coach you from the sidelines.
But I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they really started getting in depth with each other and the new girls started coming along like Mariah and Beyonce and Rihanna.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they started incorporating them into it. And then it was just like a shade fest. Like Shade and Tony Braxton. Oh, my God.
Like you couldn't wait for a new video to come out, and like it was like an event every time it came out.
And they were always good.
Yes, all of them, except for the ones that we were in.
Yeah, it's all right.
But at least they said, "Well, let's put them in there."
At least we were a part of it.
Yes, and people thought it was our stuff, and I'm like, no,
we were a part of it
like that.
We were a part of it, so I'm happy we were a part of it.
So, you know what I watched? Okay, so I watched Tamar Braxton and Taraji P. Henson.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about the mental health thing. But, you know, I was kind of like disappointed in watching it. Because I'm glad that Tamar's telling her story. But it was just more like a sister girl. And yes, girl, you in a safe place. And it was just, it wasn't like Dr. Phil or something like Iyanla would bring, you know.
Well, I hope you wasn't expecting that.
I was. Like, I expected, like, you know, even Red Table Talk has a professional vibe to it. It didn't feel that way watching this. It just felt like, girl, it's okay, you could cry. I know exactly how you feel. Yes, like, it was just too much for me. But I watched the whole thing. And what saddened me, it was that Tamar said that, you know, she wanted to end it all because she didn't think she was a good mother to her son. Or she just thought she was that real ghetto girl who's always embarrassing her son. I don't know. I'm just tired of hearing different things on what happened. I think I probably let go of wanting to know like what caused this because you never know what triggers people to do anything. But it's sad that she would think that about herself as a mom. Because I think she was. I told her you would be the fun mom. You would be. I think you would be fun. And then if you fucking up, like you still got 5 sisters or 4 sisters, and you got your mom, or they can help straighten you up, or you know, like you could read books if you felt like you was being. Or won't you? Ask your son, how do you feel about me being your mommy? Like, it's not hard. Or if you don't like how you are, change how you are. It doesn't require suicide. And that's for anybody. Like, suicide doesn't change anything. It makes it permanent. You going forever. All we're going to have is memories and videos. That's it. Once you're going, you're going. But I just don't agree with that aspect of life where, you know, people do it, but you never know or what they hear in their head and things like that. That's all a part of mental awareness. But I did love that they talk about being black and how, you know, if you go to therapy, it's looked at as something is wrong with you. And that's how it's always been. But it's not nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist or seeing a doctor or talk about your mental health.
One of my friends, he goes to go see a therapist, and he's always telling me about certain things. And I said, he told me something one day, and I said, you know, I agree with your therapist. I agree with her. She's a smart lady. She's very smart. He's actually probably watching too, because he says, yeah. So shout out to you. I'm not gonna say your name, even though I should, because you've been getting on my nerves. But yeah, but it's nothing wrong with it at all. They, you know, sometimes you need to get that perspective from outside of your circle. You know, because a lot of times your friends and family can be biased. But it's nothing wrong with it at all. I just wish her well, and hopefully something like this don't happen again.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No.
And not even with the other sisters. We don't need that. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta came on yesterday. I paid attention this time. And I don't like that girl LaToya. And I think she's being extra for the camera.
Yes,
she did all that extraness for Peach.
It still didn't get mine.
And just became a friend of the fucking show.
Because in last week's episode, it says Candy's friend that Kenya stole.
Under her name. Said that?
Mm-hmm. When they first introduced her, it said Candy's friend that Kenya stole. That's how they described you, LaToya. I caught the banner. It says it when her and Cynthia and Kenya are sitting on Kenya's patio when they first come and they drink it.
Right.
And it has her name and it says under her name, Candy's friend that Kenya stole.
Then they think they twins.
Yeah, like, it's giving me gay.
Right.
It's giving me, they want to bump. Yeah.
Oh, you went there. You went there. And
that's what they're giving me.
Cynthia is just becoming a bridezilla and it's making me not like this. And, I really feel bad for Mike. And Mike couldn't get a word in nowhere. Cynthia, what are you doing? We know what happens, but...
See, Cynthia is so focused on the wedding.
Yeah, and how many people going to
and how many people come. Because, listen... I'm not mad at her because when you want to plan something like this, you want it to be a big spectacular. Mm-hmm. And yes, fuck COVID because COVID is fucking up everything. However, she still wants to have the wedding that she planned before COVID, and it's like they're like, well, things might have to change. Right. And in her mind, she's like, oh no, we can still.
She's just like those people down south. Our people.
Mm-hmm. Well, she is down south.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. She reminds me. Of all of them. Like, that's how they live. And like me being down there in Atlanta and I've seen it for myself, that's how she's acting. And when he acts, what's the COVID restrictions? It was like thunder and lightning that went off. Like, bitch, what's wrong with you?
Right. And they said, oh no, 250 people can come. Yeah. We're just going to spread them all over the place. I'm looking at her like, what are you talking about?
They're making their money regardless.
Like, are y'all crazy? What month was this filmed in? Because y'all are crazy.
Yes.
And speaking of Atlanta, before we go back to this, speaking of Atlanta, celebrities, do me a big favor. Stop asking for people's prayers and sympathies when somebody close to you or when you end up catching COVID. Especially when you do what Toya Johnson did, her man did a few weeks ago when they went to that big birthday party for her daughter, and then he turned around her man and got COVID. And now you're online asking everybody for their sympathies and prayers for your man because now and then she has the nerve to say, oh yeah, please, because COVID is real. COVID's been real since March. And it was real when you and everybody else was at that birthday party, maskless, on top of each other, having a good old time. It was real then too. I guess it wasn't real to y'all because it didn't affect you. But now that it's affected you, oh, COVID is real. Please be safe and please pray for my book.
But I hope she gets checked too because, she can have her damn self.
Let me tell you something. I don't feel no type of way for these people. I really don't. Because we have known all year the ramifications of COVID. We've known it. We've known what it can do to people. We've known how it ends people up in the hospital on ventilators and things like that. We know this. And yet they decided to go to a birthday party with hundreds of people inside of this venue, packed in this venue, having a good old time, nobody with a mask in sight. And now a few days later after the party, he now has COVID, and now you want people to, I'm sorry, Toya, I don't feel sorry. I'm like Kaya. Next case. Back to the Housewives, because I don't feel sorry at all.
Back to the Housewives. What else we doing?
And of course, of all places, this happened in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck down there.
Right.
They do what the fuck they want to do down there. And then they ask us for their sympathies and prayers. For our sympathies and prayers.
It's only real until it hits you.
It's only real when it hits you, Kevin. But then if it don't hit them, I can do what I want to do. But now that it's hit her and her man, can y'all please pray? I think not. I'll save my prayers for somebody who needs them. Well, how about this? Learn to pray for yourself. Because you should have prayed before you went in that party. How about that? And no telling who else was at that party and got it, and they're just not telling us.
Yeah. It probably was an outlet.
Oh yeah. A super spreader event.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about this Drew Sidora and the husband?
Oh God, the husband is a queen.
What's his name? Ralph.
Ralph. He's a queen to me. He really is. He just is like, ugh.
He don't know how to be a part of the housing process.
He's just
and
like
learning how to buy a house, and I didn't know he was that famous. Like, I don't know what he do.
He's something. I think when they first introduced them, on the first time they introduced him, I think he's something in tech. He's really a really smart guy, and I think they both have money. Him and her.
Yeah.
Him and her have money, but I think majority of their money comes from him. I think
she's not acting.
Because and I'm thinking like, okay, using that TLC movie, but how many years ago was that? Yeah, right. And then she says she does plays, but how much do they pay them on them plays? Because you're not no star. But and there's no shade to Drew because I like Drew, but I'm just saying.
Right. She's just making dumb decisions.
Yeah, but I think majority of their income comes from him because he just gives me. Ralph gives me one of those black guys who's made a good living for himself, and then he thinks now he's at that level where he feels as though you can't tell him nothing.
No,
that's what he gives me.
His fun on the side too.
And he want to do what he wants. He wants to go to Palm Springs or wherever the fuck he said he went to
Tampa
for 3 days and not tell his family where he's at.
I don't know where they do that.
I don't know where they do that at either.
And you're married. She let that just happen. I mean, then she go in the bathroom and cry.
Right.
I mean,
no, to her mother's room.
Yeah, and then her mother told me, I had mine. What she said she had?
I don't know, but the mother needs to get out their house.
Yeah, it sounded like she said premonitions, but that ain't premonitions, but she said. But yeah, it's just.
Oh, I think she was saying she had her discernment.
Yeah. Right.
But the mother really needs to get out the house because it's really 2 against 1 when it comes to.
Right, it's always going to be that way.
It's 2 against 1.
A mother always going to pick her child over whoever else.
Yeah, it's
now let's say that other person that got in her head and got money.
Then I try to explain that, and you know it's so funny because I try to explain that with my sister. Because her and boyfriend have been together for a long time and they live together, whatever the case may be. And I try to explain that to her. Like, it's good for you to have conversations with mommy and daddy, but don't tell them everything.
Right.
Because you don't want them then saying little slick, smart stuff to your man. You know what I mean? You don't want that. Because at the end of the day, you got to go home with him. Right. Not mommy and daddy. So you don't plant seeds. Don't plant seeds. Because my dad said something the other day. He was talking to my mom, and he said something the other day, and I didn't like what he said. And I wanted to call my sister so bad and see he said that because you planted a seed. That's why he said that. But I didn't do that. But we got to stop planting seeds, like you said, because first of all, my in-law would never be under the same roof as me. Never. Never, ever, ever. And especially when you have an in-law.
You might have to one day, you never know.
Yeah, but they won't be in there that long to be able to run their mouth. Because Drew's mother runs her fucking mouth.
That's gonna
pastor
happen.
or no pastor. No, but you know what? It shouldn't happen. And it shouldn't happen because at the end of the day, you're living under someone else's roof.
But it's going to happen. First of all,
it shouldn't. That's just disrespect. That's like if somebody comes here and they try to dictate how you do shit in here. The first thing you're gonna say is, "Wait a minute, this is my house."
Yeah.
Right. Well, so you don't like how I do things, get the fuck out.
Right. Because that's what they can't. That's the first thing.
Yeah. She told me, "Oh, she's there because of COVID." No, you're there to be newsy. Yeah. And you're a pastor too. And you're not even a pastor in the city that you're in.
Oh, really?
She's a pastor at another city because she's not even from Atlanta.
She came down there because of COVID.
Yeah, but why didn't you stay the fuck at her house? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because she got a lot of mouth, that mother of hers. Hey, Drew, you need to put it.
But sometimes some parents do need to mind their business, but sometimes you need that. They got
sometimes.
But not all the time. Yeah. And when you aggravate and nagging and meddling.
And see, Drew, I keep calling him Drew. Ralph, you can tell that he wants to really say what he wants to say, but he don't want to be disrespectful because that's his wife's mother.
Yeah, but I think he do what he want to do, say what he want to do. Drew go along with it because she don't know when her next check coming.
Right, and then I think the mother, but see, the mother sees that and it's kind of like, don't let him do that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You don't let him do that, and the mother's right. However, if your daughter is, like you said, she don't know where her next check is coming from. So she's basically going along with the flow. If that's the life that your daughter's living, then I tell people all the time, I do not get in my sister's business with her man. I don't ask my sister about her personal life or her man. If my sister comes and tells me certain things, what she has, I will listen and I will give sound advice. If she's wrong, I'll tell her. If he's wrong, I'll say it. But I don't get in my sister's business because my sister is 30 years old. She's actually older than her boyfriend. I think she's like 2 years older than her boyfriend. She's a grown woman. She has a career. She's a businesswoman. She don't need me to tell her how to run her house.
Right.
Now, if she calls me and says the X, Y, and Z, asking me for advice, then that's a different story. But I'm not just picking up the phone. Oh, what's going on over there? How y'all doing over there? Oh, he did that. Oh, don't let him do that. No, because that's her house. If you, Tamisha, are allowing him to do X, Y, and Z, that's none of my business. I don't live there. Just as long as he don't put his hands on you, I'm fine. Y'all can argue all you want to. Just as long as he don't put his hands on you, and just as long as he don't call you out of your name or verbally abuse you. Other than that, I'm cool. Because y'all a couple. Y'all going to argue. But I don't get in the middle of that. And I think a lot of family members do that. And that's why sometimes I try to tell my sister, stop telling mommy and daddy everything. Because they don't need to know everything. Because they don't need to know everything.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't need to know
Then
everything.
they're gonna, because you already planting the season.
Yeah, you're planting seeds, and when you plant seeds, and then everybody want to give their little 2 cents or say little slick stuff, and don't do that. Like I said, my dad said something the other day, and I just was listening like.
Now see, I don't know how your parents are, but then like if one sister could be talking to one sister like yeah, because this such, then that go around off because on my mom's side, shit get around real quick.
Well, it's a lot of women too.
Yeah, it's
a lot of women.
Nothing is no secret. If you, let me tell you something. There's a recent family secret, right? If they think that secret is a secret, bitch, trust me.
Recent
people,
family?
Oh yeah, you don't know about it. But yeah, people know.
Okay, you said recent. I'm like recent.
Oh, when I say recent, I mean it's recent.
Oh wow.
Like, and I know about it. And I told you I don't talk to nobody.
Nobody, but it got to you.
Yes.
And you live all the way on this other side of town by yourself.
Yes. Stuff happens all the time. And you know, I just mind my business. Yeah. And I know who to tell and who not to tell.
That's right. You think what's her name there?
Who?
Yeah. You think she knows?
Oh yeah. And I'm just like, this family is a mess. You know, that's what I be telling them. I used to tell them, I'm tired of us keeping secrets. I'm tired of this. Won't you just put it on the line? Just put it out there for once and for all so nobody don't have to walk on eggshells. You know, it's just, you know, but then again, that's not my business to tell. You know, it's not my business to tell anybody because I don't want nobody to tell my business.
Right. That's right.
You know, but you just got to be careful with who you tell and share information with. Because the women on my side of the family, they fucking talk. And it's no secrets. Everybody know, or I done heard through the grapevine. And, you know, one of my cousins, this really ticked me off. Because, first of all, everybody know that I'm gay, right? So I had a family member tell another family member, yeah, because those two, they like the same things. So this cousin couldn't click it together.
Couldn't click it.
So she called me and was like, yeah, I don't understand what my sister is saying, but she's saying that you and so-and-so like the same things.
Well, how old is this cousin that couldn't click it?
You know who it is, but I can't tell you.
Wait, I'm saying how old are they? Don't tell me who I think it is. Who? Oh, okay. So that makes sense. I was about to say, because at first I'm thinking you were about to say.
Oh, no.
I'm about to say.
She better not call me with no dumb.
I'm about to say, because you know how.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm trying to understand.
What's going on. Okay. Yeah. Well, now it makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, it makes sense.
So she said, when I finally seen her.
Oh, so people were talking like that in front of her.
Right.
And she overheard it, like, what's going on?
Right. She's like, y'all two should get together and maybe you can help him and talk to him about some stuff. And I did not like that because you don't know me like that.
Right. To even say something.
Yeah, and don't volunteer stuff like that. And then, you know, that time I showed my ass at the Christmas party, she was running her mouth yeah, because Kevin did this and Kevin said that. And you don't even know me. Why are you talking about me like this? But that's how That's how shit be starting. Like, so yeah, she definitely keep that shit under wraps. If he ain't doing nothing to you, you know, if it ain't nothing good to tell, just be silent about it. You know, take the Beyonce and Jay-Z route. We don't know shit about their relationship.
We only know what they tell us. If they even tell us the damn truth.
Right. That's how you really gotta be though. Right. You really gotta be that way. And if you can't make money off of it, then shut up.
Then there's really no need to talk about it because you ain't making no money off it.
Yes, but
Jay-Z supposedly cheated on Beyonce and then they turned around and went on the whole tour. Where do you do that at? Where the fuck do you do that at? They released an album and went on the tour.
In LA.
And made a whole bunch of money off of him cheating on her. I know that's the fuck, right?
Oh my God. So, your girl, bless you. Your girl Cicely Tyson turned 96.
Yes, she did.
Did she, do we see any pictures or anything?
I don't think so. I think
she
Cicely
needs
Tyson's
to be
under
quarantined.
wrap. Yes. She's too old to be
We need
walking
to keep
around.
her in the basement along with Joe Biden
And Betty White.
yes, all of them. Bob Barker.
Betty White was in my dream the other day.
Huh?
She was in my dream the other day.
Betty White.
She was in my dream the other day. She was, it was like with an animal. Because you know Betty White's an animal lover.
Mm-hmm.
She's a real big animal lover. And she had a dog. And she was laying in the bed. The dog was looking all on her. Whatever. She was talking to the dog. Whatever the case. It was so weird. Because I was sitting in her room talking to her. And she was in the bed talking to me. But she had the dog. And she was more focused on the dog. But yeah, it's funny you said Bob Barker. Because you know he and I share the same birthday.
Oh, they are all December 12th. Huh?
Mm-hmm. He's December 12th. I think he turned 97.
He up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been retired for some years now.
15 years.
From The Price is Right.
Yeah. Telling the girls to spay and neuter their dogs and cats. Mm-hmm.
He's still kicking it though. And his wife has been dead for like over 30 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So
he was married.
Remarried or anything?
Nope. They had these pictures of him maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. He does not look like the same Bob Barker from The Price is Right. The nice looking, what's the name, old, put together.
They stop getting them faces.
Yeah. He is, he looks his age. If not older. Okay? And they had a picture of him, somebody, one of the photographers, took a picture of him at the cemetery putting flowers on his wife's grave. And his wife has been dead for a long time. Like, since the early 80s. That's how long she's been dead. Yeah, he never remarried. And he's been a widower for like 40 years now. I think his wife died of cancer. Because she wasn't that old when she died. I think she may have been like in her early 60s or her late 50s. But she died really young. And he never remarried.
Let me ask you a question. Because you know, we're sexual beings. We love sex. If you become a widow like in your 40s, if you picture it, because I want y'all to go back in time. Because some women, when they lose their husbands, they never get remarried. Like, I always wonder, like, what the... Well, I'm sure because we all take care of ourselves. But it's like, you ain't never tried to...
Because somebody didn't get remarried doesn't mean that they weren't out there doing
right. But I be thinking like they just stayed to themselves.
I know. But it doesn't mean that they weren't out there doing them, especially if they were younger. Mm-hmm. Some people don't remarry because of beneficial reasons. Mm-hmm. Like I know somebody who was married to a police officer. Their husband died. If they remarry, they're not going to be able to get their husband's benefits. So it's like, listen, and this person is young because the husband died when they were young. So it's like, you better not.
You better not.
You be out, you date all you want, but you better not get no marry nobody because all them good benefits that your husband has got, you're gonna lose that, sis. So you have to, some people have to play it depending on financial reasons.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's all different reasons why some people may not remarry, and. Yeah, but I often wonder that too, especially some people, like you said, back in the day who their spouses may have died young. You're like, damn, you ain't never... But I kind of look at it like I said, sometimes it's not even that they didn't remarry. They could have just had boyfriends or girlfriends, and they never wanted to go down that aisle again.
You want to know what else I think about?
Oh, God.
Okay, listen. No, it's nothing bad. Right? Let's say you with the love of your life, you done married this person for 50 years, right? One died. Then maybe 5 years later, y'all remarry. All right. When y'all get to heaven, who you going to be with? or is it like
I don't know who the hell you're gonna be with.
I don't know.
But you know, that's kind of like that's kind of like
thing.
But that's kind of like some people. For instance, prime example, Jackie Kennedy was married to JFK. Mm-hmm. He died. He was killed. Some years later, she remarried this billionaire.
Yeah, Onassis.
He died before because he was much older than her too. He died, but she was always Jackie Kennedy Onassis. Mm-hmm. Of course, some years later, she got a boyfriend, but she never remarried. But when she died, her children buried her with their father, JFK. They didn't bury her with her husband, her second husband. That's what some people do, which is a little
well,
depending on if the person, because some people may request that, but I kind of think like it's a little.
I would want her with the Kennedy.
Yeah, but I mean, because that's their mother and their mother and their father. So it's like, well, that's our mother. So yeah, so you're right, but and then her husband, he was from over there, like Italy somewhere. Right? Yeah, somewhere over there. So it's like they didn't bury any mother over there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but even still, if it's everybody's in the United States, some people do that with their parents. Mm-hmm. If their parent remarried and the other one died, sometimes when the next one died, they'll bury them with the first one.
There's always some shit when it comes to death, relationship, marriages, and the children. Because the children are they're not gonna go for what anybody, especially if they're not their father.
Mm-hmm. Another example. Now, you know how much I love the TV show I Love Lucy. Mm-hmm. The two of them were married for 20 years and then they divorced. Both of them remarried. She got remarried first and then he remarried. But the strange thing is, a lot of people remember Lucy's second husband because he was kind of in the entertainment business. But a lot of people didn't even realize that, I'm going to call him Ricky because that was his TV name. Yeah. A lot of people didn't even realize that he actually remarried. And him and his second wife were married for years until his second wife died of cancer. But it's kind of like, after they divorced and as they got older, you started seeing how much love that they had for each other, and they would always talk about in interviews when they were older how much they loved each other. You'd be like, damn, y'all not still together? Because both of y'all married to two separate people, but y'all doing these interviews talking about how much y'all still love each other and all that. But they had kids together. They built this empire together. They got grandkids. The summer that he died in 1986, there's this whole movie of the two of them in a swimming pool together at their daughter's house with their grandson. And when you see the two of them together, these two old people in this swimming pool, you would think that they were still married, but weren't. And
they were still fucking.
She was the last person he talked to on his deathbed because his daughter, he died from cancer, and his daughter was with him, and his daughter called her mom, and she said that he couldn't talk by this time on his deathbed. But all she could hear was her mom on the phone saying, I love you, I love you. Just kept telling him, I love you, I love you, love you. And his daughter said a day and a half later, he eventually died. But it was like, it's weird when stuff like that happens because it's like, well, how do y'all even, how does the second spouse even put up with?
Right. Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't want to be in that boat.
Me neither, because I'd probably be a little jealous.
I was jealous, right?
Yeah, I'd be a little jealous. Mm-hmm. Because they built this empire, the I Love Lucy show. They got a divorce, but it's kind of like their relationship became better once they divorced. Mm-hmm. And then as they got older in their old age, they started expressing how much they love for each other, the love they have for each other. I'm just like, wait, both of them are married now.
Did Cher kind of have that same thing with Sonny Bono?
I don't know who she remarried.
I don't know if she remarried, but like even though they had divorced, it was kind of still like they were friends or something.
Yeah, I think they were still friendly with each other.
Yeah.
And they had a divorce years ago, too.
Yes.
We know who didn't have a relationship, Ike and Tina.
Right. Bitch, and for what? Tina said, bitch, you can have everything.
You can have everything. Just all of my one name. Just give me my name. Have everything. And I know that probably took him from a loop. Like, what? He probably thought he had a maid.
Right.
Her career skyrocketed even more after she left him. You ain't hear no more about no Ike Turner after she left him.
I ain't learned about Ike Turner until I seen what had to do with it.
Because you just knew about her because her solo career really blew up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Miss Tina. And she's still alive, running things and doing things.
81 years old.
Yeah.
And still doing her thing. You know she don't live here.
No, Switzerland.
Switzerland. She said, fuck the United States.
Yeah. So she ain't had to worry about a sleepless night about Trump or anything.
No. Why would you? You calling Tina, you hear about Trump? Trump.
Yeah, she used to work for me. No, he said about she worked for me.
Yeah. And he said that.
She
Was Aretha dead by this time when he said that?
Yes, right.
Can you imagine what her response would have been had she been alive and he said that?
Yeah, she worked for me.
Worked for you.
Whew, she would have got him together if she was alive. And he did say some shit like that. Oh, my God.
She used to work for me.
It was in the bag. Still that bag. But, you know, Cicely, we forgot all about... Listen,
Yeah.
just happy birthday to you.
Just happy birthday to
96 years old. You still got your mind. You're still here. You're still acting. You're getting roles. Like, I'm very happy for you. And you are black royalty. You are our queen. Even though, you know... I used to say, you know, you've been over a long time. We all should want to get to where you are in life.
And she still don't. And she don't even look like. When you look at younger pictures, like not movie pictures, but young pictures of her, she don't even look like she's like the age that she's supposed to be. That's why when I found out how old she really was, I didn't believe it because I'm like, Cicely Tyson's not that old.
Right.
Like even now, it's like she don't look like she's 96.
No. Nope. And she still got her mind. That's the best part.
She still got her mind. Because there's some people who are her age and younger and don't have their mind.
Yep. And then, like, I feel sorry because, you know, we hear the stories about Barbara Walters. Like, you don't even see her.
You don't see her no more. That's how I knew something was wrong. Because that's usually, they did that the same thing with Ronald Reagan. When that Alzheimer's started kicking in, I saw this interview maybe about 2 weeks ago. And, you know, I like to surf YouTube. And I don't know why I was surfing his wife, but I came across this interview where... It was in the 90s. It was a few years after he had announced that he had Alzheimer's. And the interviewer was asking her about him. And once the interviewer started asking her about him, her whole demeanor changed. And she got real, like, sad and down. And I said, oh my God, like, don't ask her no more questions about him. And the interviewer then turned around and asked her something like, if you have a conversation with him, will he and before he could even finish the question, she said no. She said, having a conversation with him now, he doesn't know. He can't respond because he doesn't know what's going on because that's how far gone the Alzheimer's has him now. And I was just like, wow. It was so sad to see, and she was just like, you know, it's he's not there anymore. He's not the same person anymore. And I felt so bad because that dementia is real. But like you said, who were we talking about who don't have it?
Say that again?
No, who was this?
No, you was I said that she don't have.
Yeah.
You talking about Barbara Walters?
Oh, yeah, Barbara Walters. But yeah, that's what I was to say. That's how I knew Barbara Walters had it because after she left The View, it was kind of like you didn't see her, and then she totally disappeared. And I was like, when people disappear like that, especially old people like that, it's usually because there's a health issue. And then a lot of people didn't even know how old Barbara Walters really was because she looked good for her age too. But it's like you don't see her. Her daughter don't say nothing about her. You know, it's you don't see her at all. And then the reports that you Google, it's kind of like tabloid reports because it's just kind of like, oh, when the door's not letting anybody see her, nobody can get to her. She's in her New York penthouse, and
yeah, well,
like, you don't really hear any like
because she probably don't want those stories out there.
Yeah, about her mother, yeah.
Like,
yeah, because Barbara Walters wasn't that type of person. You ain't never hear nothing really personal about her.
Only when she shared at that round table.
Yeah, and how I kind of found out her age was. Remember that one time when Oprah was on TV and she had invited all the legendary female newscasters to come on her show.
That's old school. I don't even remember that episode.
You don't remember that episode? It was in the 2000s. It was like right before she went off the air. But I remember she had a lot like Diane Sawyer, Barbara. She had all of them on there, and I don't know if it was that episode or if it was the episode when she had the Women of the View on there. Whatever it was, but she had Barbara Walters on there, and Oprah had said something about Barbara Walters' age, and Barbara kind of looked. And I said to myself, well, why would she say that? You know, that's not even the type of person that you would even reveal her age. Like, why would she do that? But, yeah.
Google is everybody's friend.
It is everybody's friend.
When is their birthday?
Right.
they know.
But Barbara Walters is old. She's like 91. She's old.
Yeah.
I feel bad, though.
So let's talk about Black Bottoms.
Yeah.
I mean Black Bottom, not Black Bottoms.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So we watched Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And we didn't watch it together.
No, but I watched it too.
Yeah, I watched it over the weekend because it was something that I was really anticipating. Right when you hear Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, yes, like I never watched the play. I knew it was on Broadway. Then it had a revival, and then I know that Denzel Washington had an exclusive with HBO to produce August Wilson plays, 9 of his plays, and then that went from HBO to over to Netflix. But I thought that this was going to be like a biopic of Ma Rainey, and when I watched it,
it wasn't.
It wasn't, and I'm like, they spending too much time on Levy. like what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm like, can I get some? Can I get a little backstory on Ma Rainey? Like, can we get a little bit about her life? And it wasn't like that. It was basically a play about the making of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
But it still spent too much time on Levy.
Yeah. Way too. It was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And
I was highly disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed with the film because I loved it. And
go ahead, I'll let you.
The reason why I say I loved it, because Chadwick, and then the parts with Viola, like she shined. When it was her time, she shined. That's Ma Rainey. The part with the nephew, that irked the fuck out of me. But when Chadwick was talking about his mom being raped by the white people, just that was like a whole monologue of him just sharing a story and getting them old ass men together. I loved it. I loved it. And it showed you, like, if you didn't know anything about Ma Rainey, you know she was a no-nonsense type of woman. And she said, and she knew that she was being used. But I still wanted more. It gave me the feeling of the people in the old AT&T commercial, like, more, we want more, we need more. Because that's where this left us, the way it went off. It was just like, okay, now what? Right. Like that's it? Like, that's how it ended.
I was disappointed because I didn't know anything about the play.
Right.
So I thought that the movie was going to be a biopic. And then I was disappointed because I'm like, wait a minute, we're focusing on the recording of this one song and it's spending too much time on Chadwick. After I was told on Facebook that it was from a play, I said, oh, now this is giving me play vibes. Because I couldn't quite catch what it was that I wasn't feeling. And not to say that I don't like plays, but it just wasn't giving me what I want. And I'm like, okay, well, when are we going to start talking about her?
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to...
I'll tell you one thing, it wasn't nothing like Fences, because I enjoy Fences.
Yeah, I haven't seen Fences yet, but I was like, what?
You not watch Fences? It's like 2 hours. Like, it's based off of August Wilson play, too.
Yeah, I never seen it. You never saw E.T.?
Bitch, E.T. is from the 80s. Of course I've seen E.T.
You never saw Titanic until I took you.
Well, it don't matter. I've seen it. It don't matter. Bitch, I've seen it.
And you never seen Crooklyn?
Did I? Who?
Crooklyn.
Bitch, I done seen Crooklyn like 20 times.
No, you didn't, because you couldn't name my one... Name a line from Crooklyn.
I can name plenty line. You let some girl named Peanut steal my food stamps.
No, name another line that's not familiar.
Okay, bitch, Queenie in that motherfucking
That's
couch.
a familiar fucking line.
Oh, Queenie. Oh. Yeah, she went off then, shit. Then when the mother died, that's so sad. That's so sad for Troy.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah, she did. Bitch, I know y'all ain't watching that basketball. Turn that shit down. Turn it
She had that cancer.
Yeah, the cancer.
That's what it was.
Okay.
No, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I thought Viola did a good job.
Yeah.
I thought she did a really good job.
I don't want them to nominate her, though. Because I know Chad was going to get an Oscar.
Can I be honest with you? I didn't get a good vibe from him in this movie. I feel like he kind of overdid it. Like, I just didn't like that this was his last film.
Well, I mean...
I didn't like that this was his last film. You could clearly see that he was sick. You could see that he was sick. It didn't give me what I wanted. And, stuff like this I usually like. But this, it did not give me... I liked Viola more than I liked him.
Wow.
And I was just like...
it was a point where I realized that this wasn't about Viola. This is more about...
Yeah, about him. And I'm like, wait, but I don't want to see all this about him. I want to... About her. It would have been nice if they would have made a biopic about her, because people like her you don't hear about.
Yeah, you know that movie Bessie?
Yeah, with Queen Latifah.
We learned more about Ma Rainey and Bessie than we did in
this. Exactly. Mm-hmm. How about it? How about it? It's like you don't get anything from her other than this is her nephew who stutters and she wants him to get paid so he can send some money back to his mother. Mm-hmm. And she wants to be in charge. Instead of hustling the money. How about that? Because if he's getting paid only $25, he's probably only sending about $15 of that $25.
Yeah, that's a lot of money back then.
It was a lot of money back then, but why couldn't you send $15?
Because that's another thing.
It's yeah.
Well, look, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it too.
I think that Chapman definitely going to get an Oscar nomination, Best Actor. He's going to get it.
It's unfortunate though because I feel like now this was kind of wasted, and it's I'm not talking about that. I feel like it was wasted with her playing this role because it would be so awesome to see a biopic of her, and I would like to see her, Viola, play her. But it's like, would they get her to play her again in the biopic after they done already did this movie?
Well, look, they could get Monique or Viola. I don't care who
they actually could get Monique.
Yeah, I don't care who they pick. I want them to do it right. Like her story needs to be told. Now y'all done teased us Hollywood 2 times. Now tell her motherfucking story. Tell her story. It needs to be told.
Who played her? Oh, Monique played her in Bessie.
Right.
Yeah.
She showed her how to make money. How not to be. She was no nonsense with them fucking promoters. She wanted her motherfucking money.
That's right.
When it was time to pay up, they paid up. Yep.
They both. What's her name? They both died like a few years apart from each other too.
Yeah, and Bessie had that car. It
was in a car accident. Yeah.
Yeah. That movie was sad.
I don't remember it all like that, other than when she's sitting at that thing with her titties out. But I do remember Monique, but I don't remember the movie like that. I mean, I gotta go watch it again.
It was pretty good. I won't give you my HBO Max password. If you give me
I have HBO Max, sweetheart. Okay.
Okay, so
you I won't give you HBO Max. I didn't ask for it.
You know, I'm about to start giving my password out for half it costs because...
No, don't give it out. Make sure if you do give it out, you put it in. Because I don't trust people to give it out and then they turn around and change it.
Yeah,
don't change my shit. So that's right. So you put it in yourself. Don't never text your password to nobody.
That's I've never done such a thing.
No, I'm just saying if you do charge people. I'm just saying. You know,
only person I ain't never charged is my mom husband. I was like, you can keep your money. I don't want your money. You know, no, I'll pay you. I said, no.
Let me tell you something. I gave my Netflix password to my coworker. I gave it to my coworker in RHOA. RHOA still has it, but my coworker, once she logged out one day, she called me and said, "Can you send me?" I said, "No, I cannot because you shouldn't have logged out."
Oh! Why would you log out?
Why would you log out? You shouldn't have logged out. Then she said her boyfriend did it by mistake. Oh, so now your boyfriend had, oh, no. Did your boyfriend turn around and change my password? Oh, no. Can't. Sure can't. I said, when I see you, I'll put it back in. I ain't never put it back in. No. You shouldn't have logged out. Nobody told you to do that. You don't log out. I'm letting you use this for free. You gonna log the fuck out? You crazy?
So Pharrell, first of all, Pharrell admitted that the songs that was on Justin Timberlake's album, Justified, his debut album, were songs that were written for Michael Jackson, and all of them Michael Jackson rejected. But I thought we knew this. Like, because if you listen to some of those songs, like, you can hear Michael Jackson's, like, you can hear him actually singing some of these songs. And Pharrell was like, no. Michael Jackson want the songs that you want, songs like based off what you did with Noriega, not this shit. He thought it was bullshit. But I actually like those songs. And if you compare Invincible to Justified, I think that Justified is a better album than Invincible. But I still enjoy some of them songs off that album. You know, I don't know. But I'm trying to think now, though, about Justin Timberlake's career. Like, we always say, like, he's still our stuff, but do you think he technically still our stuff?
No, when you have people like Pharrell giving him the stuff, how is he stealing it?
Yeah.
If they're giving it, see, and that's another problem. If people like us are giving them our stuff, then they're not stealing it
because they're giving it to the album like he wrote these songs. Justin Timberlake ain't write shit. But you know, I don't want to do your girl like that, but she because she technically she do right. But some stuff she has enough star power to just tag her name on it. Right. But at that time, We talking about 2001. Justin's name was on that whole album.
Well, Justin was pretty big at that time. He was in the
Insane.
Yeah.
But to just throw your name on everything.
Well, but Pharrell let him do it.
Yeah, man, your color.
Yeah.
Shut up, Kevin. Yeah, it's just, I was just like.
It happens. And, that's when you have to say, I can't blame Justin. Pharrell, you should have known better.
Mm-hmm. Because he ain't write a lick of that album.
But his name is all over.
All over it. Every last song.
All over it.
And now if you could say like
Justin Timberlake, I think too at that time in 2001 probably had more star power than Pharrell.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not saying Pharrell wasn't somebody, but I don't think his name was as big as Justin Timberlake's because he came from that group NSYNC.
Yeah, and Pharrell was from the Neptunes. And you know what? The Neptunes really hasn't changed that style when it comes to producing. Like you could tell by the sound of a song, that's the Neptunes. Right. But I mean, I'm not saying necessarily it's a bad thing. But I like that old stuff that they did. But I really love that Justin Timberlake 2020 experience. And when him and Jay-Z did the concert, I don't think you went to that.
Yes, I did. At the stadium.
We was you were on the floor.
I wasn't with you. I was on the floor.
Yeah, you was with your sister. Yeah, I'm like,
no, I don't even think I was with her. I think I was with guys. I think I may have been with Polo or something, but it was at the baseball stadium.
Definitely.
Yes, I was there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was definitely an experience.
Yes, it was too.
And this is before him and Beyonce.
This was before Beyonce even did a tour a stadium tour. Yeah, right. Yeah, this is before she even did a stadium tour.
I enjoyed that. I forgot I went to see. And then, like, something happened at the end of that concert.
I'll never forget where I was. If you're on the stage looking out into the crowd, I was on the right-hand side of the stage. Mm-hmm. But if you're outside looking, I was on the left-hand side of the stage. Yeah, I was on the floor and everything. And had me a good... I think Jalil was with me. It was guys. I don't remember any girls. Maybe it may have been some chicks with us, but I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But I had a good time. It was a lot of white people there.
Yes, it was. First of all, there was a lot of white people there, period.
Yeah, there was a lot of white people on that floor.
That's how you go out there.
A lot of white people there. Okay.
I can't remember. Something happened that made me so mad. But remember when they told everybody, put the light, it was the part where they told everybody, put their lighters up. It was a memory of somebody. And I think something happened and somebody said, screw somebody. It just made me upset. I
don't know who died around that time.
It was somebody that died. It was...
I don't even remember the year that was.
Something that happened. Me neither. But something had happened. Yeah, I don't know. I'm old as shit. But shout out to Pharrell. Shout out to Justin. I'm still waiting for Pharrell and Missy to do a battle.
That would be awesome.
Yes. Like they could do the songs they produced, the songs that they've done. They could go for 4 hours, and I'm gonna sit right there. I'm gonna call out and everything, make sure I don't miss that. As you guys know, Christmas is this week. I don't know how y'all gonna celebrate it. I would say if you don't live in the same house, don't. Just don't. Just relax. Hopefully by next year this time, we'll probably still be living with COVID, but not as bad. Mm-hmm. Most of us will be vaccinated. We'll be able to have a normal life. We could get back to the things we used to do and have so much fun doing. I miss my nightclub life. I do miss that. I just miss it. It's not the same anymore. I miss my fucking mom. I miss all of that because if this never happened, I don't think she would be gone. At this rate, I don't think she would be gone. But anything can happen. You just never know.
My sister made me mad when I saw her earlier because we were talking. I said something. She had the thing where you check people's temperature on the wall in the store, and she was doing stuff. And I said, "Oh well, this next year you won't need that. You take that." And she said, "You think this is going to be going by next year?" And I said, "Well, yeah. You don't think that?" She said, "No." She said, no. And then I had to remember who I was talking to. A medical professional. She's a nurse. She works in the hospital. She was like, no, it's not going to be going by that. Are you kidding? And I said, but then she said, Makael, it's not going to be going no time soon.
It's not going to be going. But hopefully with the virus protection, we could get somewhat of a normal life. Mm-hmm. I do hope that. But as this year comes to a close, try to remember the good times you had with people. You know, if you can Zoom, go ahead and Zoom. If you got to learn a fucking recipe off the internet, go ahead and learn.
You know, I talked to my cousin. The one whose son and brother died with COVID, and she was in the hospital. So I talked to her last week. This was my first time talking to her about, you know, her son dying, her brother, and it was so sad because we were on the phone for about an hour, a little over an hour, and whenever she would talk about her son, you could just hear the sadness in her voice. And I just felt so bad for her because she was like, you know, I was going to throw him a big birthday party next year when he turned 55. And, you know, this and that. And right before he died, right before COVID hit, she had bought him a Gucci watch and he told her don't buy it. And then he ended up taking it back because he was just like, no, he don't need that. But I was like, wow, I just felt so bad for her. And I started saying, please don't let her cry on this phone. Please don't let her cry on this phone. Because if she starts crying, I always start crying. But she didn't cry. But she was saying to me how every so often when she thinks about certain things, she'll start crying, or if she'll do something that reminds her of him, she'll start crying.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
because for me, anything can trigger stuff. With me, it's more childhood, childhood than adulthood. Childhood, I think of Christmas time. Everything had a fucking garland on it, a Santa, or a fucking what you call them things?
a wreath.
No, but they hang down the little
Mistletoe.
the shoe.
Oh, the stocking.
Yeah, the stocking. Everything has something, and like all Christmas, we had these two big mirrors that used to be in the living room, and every Christmas she would always take her time and take a fucking piece of tape and put the letters up all around the mirror. Like, she did so much.
Or the envelopes.
Right.
Yeah, my mom used to do that too, with the envelopes on the steps and stuff.
And you know,
The cards.
My mom did so much stuff. Like, Richard posted these pictures the other day. And
what he posted on Facebook?
Instagram. I don't know if you used to come around at this time, but my mom used to take the towels that go on the floor and put them on the motherfucking wall. Like,
no, I don't think I saw that.
Like, they used to be in the bathroom.
Why did she do that?
That's just her way of doing things.
She
took it in the kitchen.
Oh, like to read that, and then she would put new towels on the floor?
No. She took, like, towels that, you know towels that go on the floor?
Are you talking about a throw towel or like the towels?
Tiles.
The square.
Yeah, the square tiles.
She took them up and would put them on the wall.
Not put them up. She would buy them.
Oh.
And then
but put them on the wall.
Put the paste and then splack it to the wall. And that was her decoration she did, like, in the bathroom. That was her way of redecorating her kitchen. Instead of just getting a black splash, she had tile going across.
That belonged on the floor.
Huh? Yeah. They belong on the floor, and I forgot all about that. And there was a time in our house where...
I'm glad I wasn't around with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what she did. It didn't look bad, but I'm just like, what are you doing? There was a time...
Now, I remember when she was laying the towels on the floor. I remember that. But
Now, that's when you started coming around.
Yes.
Because she pulled up the rugs throughout the whole house.
Hands and knees, laying towel down on the floor.
Yep. She pulled up the whole house was carpeted. The whole house was carpeted. And she tiled that whole house with no help. And if you try to know, because this is her thing. She complained, nobody tried to help me. Then when you do help, oh, you don't know what the fuck you doing, get out the way. And like, she'll physically push you. Like, move. See, this is why I don't help you.
So who did she have move the furniture?
She did her motherfucking self.
Oh, so none of y'all helped her.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, we didn't talk about that, like, at the funeral. Like, she would strip shit down. Oh, my mom. Like, she did all of that shit, you know. My thing was I used to like to take TVs apart. But she used to, like, really, like, be Barbara the Builder.
Barbara the Builder, yeah.
That's how she did. She would buy used shit, strip it down, varnish it, paint it. That was Barbara's thing. made it look brand new, and she only probably spent like $20 on it. And she wasn't buying nothing new with all the people in her house that would tear shit up.
I don't blame her. Ooh, I don't blame her. Oh, I don't blame her. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I don't blame her. I don't blame.
Yeah,
ooh, that just struck a blow. I don't blame her, Jesus.
But yeah, I'm
Y'all
gonna
done tore that shit up.
Like our one family tradition is giving out Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve. Maybe some of them will keep it going, but because I'm not buying nothing.
I won't be there. No,
but I'm gonna miss that. I do miss her so much. Like, bitch, a song, a scent, anything can make me cry, just like that. You know, sometimes I'm strong, sometimes I'm not. I'll be at my desk and I'll be crying at work. And I'm telling my coworker, like, yeah, I'm crying.
I remember I used to have those days about my grandmother. You know, I didn't lose my mother, but my grandmother.
Look at your arms.
What?
They look like goosebumps.
I did have goosebumps because I was thinking about what you were saying about your mom. It didn't make me think of my grandmother. I had those moments with my grandmother, but it's like the older I got, the more I was able to just like, when I would think about certain things, I wouldn't even cry no more. I would just smile and be like, oh, wow. I was like, thank God I still remember that. Because some things you don't remember. And it's crazy because I had posted something on Facebook the other day and somebody had left a comment. Actually, I posted a picture of my grandmother. And somebody left a comment and was like, oh, Miss Bill, I miss her so much. And I didn't recognize who the fuck she was. So I knew, I went to her page and I saw we had mutual friends. And a lot of my mutual friends were my cousins. So I texted one of my cousins and I said, who is so-and-so? And he wrote me back and he said, oh my God, you really don't remember anybody from our childhood. And I said, well, no, I don't remember a lot of people from the childhood. I said, but who is it? And he said, oh, that's so-and-so. And I said, well, I don't remember her. So he said, do you remember so? I said, yeah. He was like, oh, that's their sister. And I said, well, I didn't know they had a fucking sister. So he was like, yeah, she was. But I said to him, I said, listen, if they didn't come out at 7:32, if they didn't come out at 7:32, I don't remember them. I don't. I said, if all of us that were in 732, I remember all of us in there. Because Bill wasn't letting nobody come in. Wasn't no sleepovers, no shit in her house. You coming over there, no, you wait outside. You don't come, what do you need to come in for? Oh, God, we couldn't have company in her house. No. We ain't have no company in there.
Right.
She was the awesome, yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, she was an awesome grandmother, but she was old school. She was one of them old school grandmothers that you wasn't coming in and you damn sure wasn't going up them steps. You need to go upstairs. Hey. I said, no, I don't remember none. And I told him, I said, they didn't come out at 7:32. I don't remember them. So no, don't ask. Don't ask.
I hope y'all all try to enjoy Christmas some type of way. If you do decide, keep a mask on, be safe. But I would say stay home. Don't give your grandmothers COVID or your grandfathers. Like, if you're going to be with the young people, be with the young people, but leave the old people alone. They ain't do nothing to nobody. They barely going anywhere anyway. And that's one thing I think about my mom. I say, she ain't never going nowhere. She ain't do nothing to nobody. I think about that. Yeah, she's always in the fucking room, minding her own business. And y'all brought that, never mind. Anyway, yeah, that's some of the things I go through in my head. But other than that, yep. And I do fuck Donald Trump because I was going to talk about him with this apprenticeship.
No, fuck
it. Yeah, but I do want to we want to send our condolences to our auntie Michelle Williams, who lost her father yesterday. My heart just goes out to her, and I do feel really sad for her. I know I don't talk about this much, but she was one of the people that I communicated with while my mother was in the hospital. And when my mom passed, I'm getting sad. I called her, and I just, she was one of the people that I called, but when I talked to her, I didn't cry. But I was like in and out of crying, like in between different calls, I would cry and say it, and then I wouldn't cry. And she's one of the people I didn't cry, and I was able to talk to her and thank her, for being there and just letting her know that, yes, my mom passed on and stuff like that. But, while we were talking, it was kind of like, I really don't know what to say. And I told her it's okay. Because at that time, she never lost a parent.
A parent, right.
So she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
And you don't.
And she was like, don't let me contacting you like make you upset. Or she's like, if you think I need to pull back, let me know. Because you just want to be there for people, but you don't know how to be there.
And you don't know what to say,
right.
Especially if you've never experienced it, and you don't know, you don't want to say the wrong thing,
right? But I told her like everything is okay, like I'm fine, like. But she was like, of course she, we talking our talk, but it was just like, let me know if I'm bunching on your toes, let me know. And I just said no, everything is fine, and I'm grateful that she did do it. But I'm gonna tell y'all, the healing begins, bitch, when nobody calls your phone no more, nobody sends a text, you don't get a card, you don't get a flower. Yeah. Bitch, that's when it really begins.
You know what's so funny that you said that? My pastor says the same thing at funerals. Mm-hmm. He said when the phone calls stop and people stop coming around, that's when you have to rely on God for that strength. Mm-hmm. Because now you can't be leaning on nobody and talking to nobody and somebody taking up your time by taking your mind off of it. He always says that. He says that at every funeral. He says when everybody stops coming, and this is what he says. He says, because they're going to stop calling and they're going to stop coming. That's when you have to rely on your strength in God. And you have to rely on Him to get you through, because it's going to happen. And it's so true. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's not that people forget.
No, it's just that
they're going to move on with their life.
First of all, and you're not going to be doing that every day all year. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, God, I'm so sorry, because you don't want to hear that all year.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a time for that. Yeah. And then after a while, we all start moving on. It doesn't mean that you're moving on and you're not remembering the loved one, but it's just that I don't expect you too much from now to be, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh God, is there anything I can do? Mm-hmm. It's been 2 months. Yeah. Come on, give me a break. We're moving on. I'm grieving, but I don't need you to do all of that.
Right.
I don't need you to do all of that.
Right. So I do send my condolences to her family. I know her father has been ailing for a very long time, and I just want them to remember the love that they have for him this holiday season. I don't think that her siblings, but you never know with any family. But I do hope that, especially being there for your mom, it's got to be tough on her, because she was his rock.
And that note that she put that her mom sang to her dad before he died.
Yes,
I was like, wow.
Like, it's tough. My heart just really goes out to the Williams family.
I sat in a room. I think I told you this. I sat in a room with somebody at my church who died. And when I tell you, it was one of the most...
They died while you was in there?
The mother
Rivers?
No. Billy's mother. Mother Parker. I couldn't think of what her last name was. Mother Parker, 100 years old. And she died on a Sunday. And we went to the home because during service, the nursing home called him and told him that his mother, this was it, and he needs to come up there. He left. My first lady left with him because my pastor, he peeped that something was wrong. He peeped Billy taking a phone call, and I guess my pastor knew that something was up with the mother.
I just wanted to make sure my thing was recording. Go ahead.
So he signaled for my first lady to go with him. So she ended up going with him to the nursing home. As God would have it, Mother Hinton at the time, she started having issues while we were in church with her back. And she got up and said she couldn't say no more. So she asked me if I could take her home. Well, as it would have it, she lived in the same complex as Mother Parker. But Mother Parker lived on the side where you needed to be taken care of. Mother Hinton lived on the independent side in her own apartment. I didn't realize that until I got to the thing, and Mother Hinton was like, this is where Mother Parker lives, but I'm not going to go around it. I said, oh, she lives there. So I went around there, whatever the case may be, and then after church, my pastor came, and a few other people came too. His wife came. Him and his wife separated, but she came, and we were in the room, and the breaths, Kevin, that she was taking, it was almost like, oh my God, it was just so faint. And she was just, And it's like, as you were watching her take these breaths, you was like, oh my God, these are her last. And then she finally took her last breath, and it was like, wow. Like, just being in a room when that happens, it's just like, somebody is actually taking their last breaths while you're standing here with them. And it's like, my uncle was the same way. My uncle who died last year. And it's like, they were so far out of it. My uncle and Mother Parker reminded me of each other, because they were so far out of it with their eyes open that if you would have went like this across their face, they wouldn't have reacted at all. Because I think that they were kind of... My aunt, that I'm always talking to, she was in the room with us, and she said, oh, he's already dead. And at first, I didn't get it, but now that afterwards, I'm like, wow, she was right. My aunt said he's already dead. We just waiting for him to take his last breath. She was like, because he has there's nothing there anymore. And it really wasn't anything there. And I was just like, wow. Like, it's a thing when you're in the room with somebody and they die. It's a life-changing thing, because you be thinking to yourself, I'm actually in here with somebody who just took their last breath. And the lady came in, and she told us to go out in the hallway. And when we came, they did the same thing for my uncle too, because he was in a facility too. And when we came back in, she had positioned Mother Parker so that she looked presentable. And they did the same thing with my uncle. They fixed the body, so that when we come back in, then but it's sad. It really is sad. It's a sad thing to witness. So for her, when I saw her say that, and that the dad looked at peace, I was just like, wow. Because you be wanting them to say something to you in that moment, but they can't. And then you say to yourself, I hope and pray that they can hear me. Because I was talking to my uncle. Yeah, I was talking to my uncle at one point before he died. It was like maybe a day or two before he died, and I was up there, and I just happened to be up there by myself with him. So I sat in there with him for about a good hour. And then when I left, as I was leaving, I went over and I kissed him on his forehead, and I started, just rubbing his head, and I was talking to him. And he just had no emotion, but I just kept saying to myself, I just hope and pray that he hears me while I'm standing here talking to him. And I just kept rubbing his head, and then I kissed him again, then I left. But it's just like, it's so sad. It really is. It's a sad thing to witness. It's really a sad thing to witness. And you just hope and pray that they're not in pain either.
I don't think about pain,
Yeah.
Ooh,
my cousin, he was in pain. Oh, I felt so bad for him. He had cancer. I felt when we went up to go see him, he was just in agony. Oh, I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for him. And when we left out the room, we prayed, and I told him I loved him, and he responded back. But he never opened his eyes. He just said, I love you too. He never opened his eyes. And I felt so bad for him, because he was in the bed, and he just kept moving around. And the nurse had to come in. The cancer had totally destroyed him in the inside. And maybe, I think it was like 2 days later after that, he died. My cousin.
Damn.
Yeah.
But too much death talk.
It is. Man. I'm saying. Well, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm always there.
My thing.
No, I don't mean it like that. No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that, I'm always there. I'm just always there.
Because you got all your church members like 80 years old, chill.
This is my cousin who owes me eggnog, and I called her. Hello?
Thank y'all for watching.
I completely forgot after I called you. I'm about to, you in the house? All right, well, because I'm down whistling. I'm about to go home now, but I'm going to come to your house before I go in the house. Okay. All right.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Y'all have a, we'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll
be back. But Merry Christmas. Be safe. Can't say no drinking and driving. No drinking and driving.
Don't drive, because you shouldn't be going no damn where any damn way.
Drinking.
Just drink in your house.
And collect plates from the neighborhood.
Oh, no.
Well, not I won't be collecting no plates from mine here, but I'm just saying. Especially with the seasoning.